Hello out there. Well, in this video, I want to share my thoughts on living in a car, and one of the main reasons mentally that I like the simplistic life of living in a car. I live in a Jeep Renegade. I have for 2 years. I owned a condo for 15 years. So I know what it's like to be a homeowner, and I know what it's like to be a nomad, to live in my car, travel from place to place. I do it legally. I stay at campgrounds or Walmarts for one night where it's allowed, or truck stops for one night, and I keep things moving. And there's downside to this lifestyle of living mobile, living in your car or van. The downside is, you're never really settled. There's a lot of movement, which can take a toll on your physical body and your mental well-being, because you're never really in a routine. You may stay at a campground for a week or 2 weeks and you kind of settle in, but you're always adapting. And so that's a negative. But the positive is you only have one thing to take care of. And just saying that puts a huge smile on my face. Because for me, being a person who is an optimist but also a realist, meaning I know the pain this world can bring, I know the mental pain I went through, the more I had to take care of. The more materialistic things, and even the more relationships, even having a dog, the more things I had to take care of, the harder and the more excruciating the mental pain of life would turn my world just to a red stress face emoji. Having only one thing to take care of, having only one bill, whether it's a car insurance or a car payment, or having only one thing to worry about other than myself, which is my car, is a blessing. When you have a house, you have everything, every component attached to that house as a burden on your mind. You have a house, you have to worry about the roof. You have a house, you have to worry about the plumbing. You have a house, you have to worry about the appliances, the washer, the dryer, the sink, the refrigerator, the dishwasher, the stove. And believe me, during the course of my 15 years owning a house, every one of those things at some point over the course of those 15 years, every one of those things went wrong, had to be maintained, or had to be replaced. From the electric to the plumbing to the appliances to the flooring to the paint to the garage door to the outside maintenance to the deck, all the things associated with a house, condo, or even an apartment, they weigh on you. And after a long day at work or after a long day in life, you have to deal with more responsibility, more work. That's not worth it. And that's why, even though this life as a nomad, living out of a car, has downside, and it's not for everyone, and it takes a toll on you, I'm trying to be honest, but also share with you why I still do it. The simplicity and the empowerment, mentally and financially, of having to only take care of one thing is as free as you can get in this world, and as it's basically the most empowered you can be at this world. Because even making good money, unless you have a real small house, that's a financial burden. But in addition to that, that's a mental burden for the reasons I just explained. And I come back to the conclusion that less is more, and that having only one thing to think about outside of myself, because I often say taking care of yourself, doing it well, is a full-time job. Self-care is a full-time job. So in addition to taking care of yourself, you're going to have to work in this world. I have a full-time job. So now you got two jobs. You got your job that you have to get an income from. You got to take care of yourself, which is another full-time job. Then you got to take care of a house, which is another full-time job. Then if you had a pet, like I had a pet for 10 years, that's a full-time job. Then if you have kids, that's a permanent full-time job. And you wonder why mental health in America is at the worst it's ever been. And you wonder why in the richest country in the world, 70 to 80% of Americans are still living paycheck to paycheck and are popping prescription pills to get a peace of mind. And they look at me odd or crazy for living out of my car. When I take no drugs, I drink no alcohol, I take care of myself well, I do things responsibly. And it's still a struggle for me to keep myself together, to keep myself in a good space, because I understand what this world is and I speak on it. And what I can share with you, for me, I'm not telling you how to live, I'm sharing my life, is that having only one thing to take care of, which is my car, is a blessing. I don't have a roof. I don't have, siding. I don't have a deck. I don't have a garage. I don't have appliances. I don't want that. Just the components of a car and everything that comes with a car, tires and all that, that's enough. But it's one thing. It's one altogether thing, a car. The car insurance, the car payment, that's it. No utilities, no maintenance fees, no renovations. All that is extra. I want one thing. That's all I can handle. Now, I can handle more. I did it for 15 years, but it makes life less enjoyable. Because then I am working for those things. I'm using all my energy to take care of things. I want to take care of myself. I want to live a well life. Now, I have to be fair. For some people, if they only had a car to take care of, they wouldn't be in a good space traveling like how I travel and living on the road, because living on the road has downside. And for people that like a consistent everyday routine and they're homebodies, they don't get out of the house much, they're shut-ins, this life is not for them, in my opinion. Because it requires you to be outdoors a lot. It requires you to drive a lot. It requires you to constantly change, even if it's changing campgrounds. And some people, they wouldn't do well in that. But I'm documenting, I'm sharing my thoughts of my life from a man who owned his own house for 15 years, from a man who has lived in his car for 2 years. For me, one of the main benefits at this time in my life, the reason I stay living in a car, is because I like knowing that I only have one thing to take care of. That's my car and myself. And that provides relief from the pain that this world and society can bring. And it allows me to enjoy life a little bit better, to do more things that inspire me. And that's what I want to share in this video. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate if this video or any of my videos help you, that you take the effort to click the thumbs up button and share the video. Those are all free ways that you can support this channel. All of my 1,000+ videos on my channel are free. And if you're not subscribed, I upload daily videos. You can hit the red subscribe button, and then there's a little bell to be notified. In addition to making still videos, I also go live on YouTube just about every night. You can join the live chat, ask me any question, and we can have a conversation. All right, so peace and love. Try to stay positive. Go from there. Forward.